Hello, everyone. It looks like you stepped into the AI room. Hi, it's Zero. This podcast contains words that are not safe for your home, or your work, or your friends and your family, or your kids. So keep it away from them. But please enjoy.
All right.
Woo. Okay, everyone ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ready.
Ready. Okay.
You just disappeared. Oh my god, your body.
Oh.
And from the dungeons, it's Cookboy.
He comes out and he's like, I'm Batman.
Oh my god.
Where's
okay.
Rachel?
You know what? I'll just roll with it. Welcome everyone to our first arc post wrap-up show, I guess, or episode. So our first arc was called Robots versus Cowboys, and it kind of centered around one of our characters, Dell, played by Chris.
Yeah.
I also have to say, I think we had a missed opportunity that we all should have dressed up like cowboys for this.
It would have been fun.
Oh.
I don't even have the right gear for that.
I mean, we can
It's
all
your
dance like
character.
robots.
How do
and
you
then
not
people can
have
imagine
any
us.
cowboy anything? It's
All the
your
stores have been
character.
closed. I can't go get cowboy gear.
Oh my god.
Since we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboy Import.
You know, like there's
Emporium is closed.
this thing called like
Cowboy!
Amazon.
Boots and hats is closed. That's where I always go. Boots
Boots
and
Boots and
The
stuff.
boot, all your boots and some of your stuff.
I love stuff.
Spurs and burrs. I don't think
Oh my
burrs
God.
is a real word, but whatever.
Bird? Yeah,
Burr.
Is
bird's a
it?
word.
Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I
Still
think a
sound like
bird
an
is like
idiot.
something you get stuck in your sock or whatever, right?
Oh
Sounds-
yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah. Okay.
Aren't they
so
also called like goat tails or something?
I think goat heads,
Goat heads?
foxtails, the
Foxtails.
things that get stuck in your socks. But let's weave our way back into talking about D&D.
Not that wasn't really interesting for everyone involved.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone cares about burrs and foxtails. So what did everyone think about the first arc? If you guys don't want to do a round table, or if you guys don't have anything to say, that's fine.
Everyone
it's up
talking
to
at
you.
the same time.
I think it's.
So it's really great, and I just
Yeah.
I just love it. It was really
I'd like-
great.
And now
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry I
excited. I
started
just
this.
really liked
I'm
it.
really sorry.
I vote for a round table. I vote
Yeah.
for a round table
Kirk, you-
because y'all are
okay.
distracting.
All right, let's see. We got 4 people. Chris, you're 1. Austin, you're 2. Kayla, you're 3. Naomi, you're 4. I'm gonna roll one of these bad boys. Oh
Okay.
shoot.
D4.
Do. 4. Whoever's
Oh.
4.
That's me.
You can go first.
So, what I really liked about the first arc is, of course, your writing, Kirk. This is like, wait, are you like because you don't like compliments, or are you
No,
just gonna?
I fucking hate compliments.
Deal with
can
it.
you,
You're
like-
gonna have to listen.
Just roll with it.
Yeah,
Just
can you
deal.
man up this time? You know, man up and
Deal.
take it.
Deal.
Okay.
Is that how you man up? I'm sorry, Kaylee.
Yeah,
Every
It's
time.
alright.
Just
I get constipated. Okay.
So this is my first homebrew campaign that I've been a part of. This is, I think, my 4th D&D campaign since I started a few years back. And what's really awesome is that you really took what was going on with us, and especially with Dell, and you put in such amazing twists that shocked me. And for me, sometimes I get bored of stuff. I get bored of stories. I get bored of, the same kind of typical campaign. But I can just feel my excitement when I realize what was going on. And I love how you had like some creepy things going on, kind of like when we were in a Pool's lab and we had to figure out the puzzles, and you have like this creepy child coming in, and it all is like a real nice puzzle instead of some other campaigns where it's just like, which door do you go through? We did do a little bit of that, but it was still elevated, and it's just amazing writing. And I really feel like D&D is like 80% the writer and the dungeon master. And I think we really lucked out in this podcast with Kirk because he puts in work. For these listeners that are listening to our podcast, this fool like will message us on the weekends and be like, hey guys, look at what we're like, I need a little bit of information from you. Look at this new thing that I did for the podcast. Well, you make me look bad. I just show up, you know, and you do so much work.
I'm just a married man with lots of time on my hands.
Wait, what?
Well, we do things,
Wait.
you know. But
I think that reflects poorly on me.
No,
and
no,
really
no.
positively
You
on
keep me very entertained. I just
Shutdown helps out a lot too.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we told you to stop talking, Greg, so you can
Okay,
listen to this.
I'll just shut up and sit here.
Stop.
And then also, I really appreciate the crew that we have. I feel like everybody really brought it. Except for, you know what? Honestly, except for me. Like, I don't think I
Shut
really.
up.
No,
Shut
Oh my
up.
God. Okay, you can just sit there and shut up now. Good
wait,
Lord.
I still have my turn. The dice has been rolled. But
There were nothing that said I had to sit here quietly and
Oh,
listen
true.
to you talk yourself down. Not okay.
well, it's just that I feel like there was a really wonderful commitment to your guys' characters, and you guys are the ones who are doing different accents. And I'm just trying to figure out how, instead of just playing Dungeons and Dragons, you know, throwing back beers with my friends on a Saturday, now we have this whole new medium that I have to get used to. And I have to be like, oh, you know what, like Sandra is the one talking. And so I think with the group that we have here, it really created such a balance of personality, especially when you came in, Kaylee, because it was a lot of pressure being the only girl, and I'm a mean girl, you know, I'm mean. Sandra is mean. She's a grating bitch, and to have somebody who's nice like Maura Hill and, you know, kind of bubbly and magical, I think it was a perfect piece to the puzzle. And I don't know, I just love the whole thing. This is the best campaign I've ever been a part of, and
it's very nice to hear. I do appreciate it. I'm not a big fan of compliments, but I do appreciate when you guys do like tell me that. Because
Ditto.
I do try to put in an excessive amount of work into it.
So all in all, I think I love the energy. I love the characters. I love the writing. I love being able to be with my friends, you know, even if it's digitally, virtually. I just freaking love D&D, man. And and when I tell people about it, and I was like, dude, you should hear the story this bro wrote. And I'm just like, for people who are never going to listen to it, like my parents or my family, not that they don't support me, by the way, they just, you know, they're not going to sit down and listen to a podcast. But when I tell people, you know, about the story, like, oh yeah, there's like the static system. I'm part of the academy. We have all these adventures. And then we met like Dell's dad. It was so crazy. And people listen to the story as I try to animate it for them, and it's just 10 out of 10. And I'm a mean girl. I'm a critic. I give this whole campaign a 10 out of 10. Difficulties in the beginning, yeah, but man, I'm like still completely sold on doing this, because I mean, if you know me, I'll bail on something I don't like. I'll just dip and be like, sorry, this is
that's good.
yeah. Well, you guys
That's a vote of confidence right there.
No more pressure. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I'm glad. I'm
crying.
glad you like it.
Yeah. No,
I will
thank
tell
you.
you all that I'm gonna tell you guys the name of the next arc at the end of this, so you guys can get excited about that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Anything else, Naomi, before I roll the die?
Nope. I want to hear somebody else other than my voice.
Okay. 1.
Oh, that's me.
Numero uno.
I was actually hoping I could go after Naomi because some of the stuff, like Naomi and I have worked a lot on video projects and other creative things for, I don't know, 10 years now? Yeah, about 10 years, almost 10 years. And it's true. We both will bail on shit that is just boring. How many projects have we done that we never finished?
I'm trying to keep that number low. So, and we still have projects on the other side that I haven't like wrapped up, and stuff that's Austin in too. So,
yeah.
So hopefully not that some of the other projects, but yeah, we do leave projects unfinished, and it's not because we don't like it. It's just because we get bored of it.
I think that we're notorious for that, and on the flip side of that, we also, I know that I can include Austin in this one too. We also like crave to be creative. We'd love to just write and like plan to film and do all this stuff, and we're always constantly needing that kind of void filled, I guess. But since we've started this podcast, I've been so invested in this character, and I've been enjoying all of the editing. And I've edited podcasts before, and after so long, like I've been like, fuck, I gotta edit the podcast. But this one's fun to edit because I can pick up stuff that maybe I didn't pick up while I was playing because I was thinking of something else. And I could think, like, it's a challenge every time because it's like, okay, they said disco country. Now I got to figure out how to fucking do that. So it's like a nice challenge.
Awesome.
And it's been keeping me so busy that I don't actually want really, I mean, I do want to create other stuff, but I just don't have the like immediate urge that I have to go do that, which helps out since everything's closed anyways. I can't do that, so.
Oh yeah, the pandemic definitely like we needed something like this for sure.
And
just to get everyone started
off,
yeah, the time and get it started. Yeah.
And Kirk knows, and Austin knows this, and I'm sure Kaylee knows this too. We've been trying to do a D&D podcast for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And the pandemic really helped out to get time to sit down and think it through, and for Kirk to write it, and for us to figure out how we were going to do it. And Kirk, it's been amazing. The story has been awesome. And like I said, like I've played other D&D before, not a ton. I actually would get bored and leave and like never show up again to other campaigns. I never got super invested into my character to the point where I was role playing the character. And there's been times where like I was hanging out with Kaylee and Kirk, and Kaylee was like, "You're starting to talk like Del." And I was like, oh shit! Like, sorry, like I don't even have an accent. I'm just a Californian, you know.
I was like, you just said that in Dell's accent, like.
Yeah, so I mean, again, kudos to everybody. Kudos to Kirk. It's been great writing. It's kept me enthralled, and I actually like going back and listening to it, even though I may spend like fucking hours on hours editing it. I'll go back and listen to it once it's out, just because I'm like, I want to hear it all together, and I want to hear it again, and I want to like really listen to it. But I appreciate everybody showing up and putting in your effort into it, and that's it. I just. Do you have any other questions, Kirk?
To follow up on it, I do appreciate when you guys get into the role play, because putting in all the time and effort to write the campaign and trying my best to do character voices. I know that's not my forte. I'm gonna get better. I practice while I drive, to and from for work.
Dang, dedication.
I try.
Wow. I don't sit there when I drive and pretend I'm Sandra. I'm just all like, I'm just trying to be Naomi in my real life. Yeah. And then like try to get into the zone right before.
Yeah. So I think, everyone's doing great, and I appreciate all the effort from everybody. I talk enough, so let's roll the die. 2. That was perfect. Okay.
Ooh.
2.
Go Austin. Go Austin.
All right. So the question is, what do we think about the first arc?
Okay. Yeah, just the show in general too, I guess. And
for sure.
Put it all together.
Okay. So first of all, coming into this podcast for me, was a little different. Okay, just 10.
Okay.
For me, I've never really played Dungeons and Dragons a whole lot. Like, I've played very loosely one campaign, and I had a group of people that wanted me to DM something, and so I went literally page by page inside of a pre-made adventure. So coming into this, I didn't really know what to expect. I guess my perspective on it was, I'm an actor. And so this is like improv. And actually that's one of my favorite things about Dungeons and Dragons in general. But Kirk, I think you do a really good job of allowing us to be the character, giving us the time to feel out the character. And I think that's like one thing that I think we're all growing in is, for me, my accent has like definitely grown and changed, and I'm trying to find like a medium where it's like it sounds good, but you can also understand me. You know, I don't want to.
I can definitely say that is a struggle for you and I sometimes.
Yeah,
we picked these accents and it's like, oh, fuck, you're never going to understand it.
Yeah, seriously. Sometimes I'm just like, man, maybe I should have just gone with like some stupid American accent, you know? Like
Austin.
No,
like Sandra. Just kidding.
What's up, Chris?
When you said when you're talking about being an actor, that reminded me of something that kind of was funny. Austin and I both teach acting. We do coaching for kids and a little bit older for acting. And every time we're thinking of examples, I always think so in our D&D campaign, but I can't say that because it's not I guess it counts, but it's not what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's it's different.
Sure.
So, but it is a good exercise if you think about it.
Oh yeah, it's great
to
it's
imagine everything in your head and become another character without.
True.
You have to do it without using expression.
Yeah,
in a way.
And I don't know. Maybe if there are listeners who think that this is scripted, it's totally not. Okay, this is not scripted at all. So all of this is off the top of our heads. Kirk kind of has a game plan.
I would say the only person that may be scripted are some and very important things I need to say to you guys. But other than that, I just have bullet points, and we just will work through all that. And it's a blast.
I kind of akin it to having those bumpers up on a bowling alley. When you're a kid and you want to hit the pins. It's kind of like that. Kirk has created this universe and he kind of allows us to explore it within with our characters to an extent. There there is a story that we have to that we're going towards. Which, by the way, Kirk, I think you do a really good job of keeping the story going when it's lagging. Because there's definitely times where we don't really know what to say. And that's
looking at each other like a bunch of idiots.
This first arc, I really, and I've never really played D&D. We did the quick little couple sessions that we did together a while back, and I DM'd those, and that was a learning experience. But I always know that the first couple games are always difficult to get group cohesion together, and I just wanted this arc to be very focused, very on rails. I wanted you guys just focus on improving and getting into your characters and just interacting within an imagined world. And like I was telling you guys earlier, the next arc is going to be a bit more open. So I've been building a giant flow chart with all these possible things you guys can do, so I can plan for everything.
All right.
I'm sure you guys will fuck it up. I know you will, but
oh my god! Oh,
wow!
Yeah.
So much confidence in his team.
No, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm trying to plan for all the things you can possibly fuck up. So.
No, I agree. In some of the other campaigns, when it's really open world, sometimes you're just for the love of God, why are they not going left? They tried the center, they tried the right, they got effed up in the right. There's nothing in the center, and then we're just chilling, well, what do we do now? And so
let's jump off the cliff.
I'm really excited for the challenge.
Let's just blow the bomb up. Let's blow up the whole building. We're inside of it. We'll be fine.
Let's just turn around and jump off the cliff.
We'll just leave.
No problem.
Just leave.
Yeah, let's just go home, guys. Go home. So, cool.
Austin, anything else before we move on to Kaylee, because she's the last one?
Nothing else. I'm having a great time. I'm loving this adventure. Loving it.
Good.
All
right.
For the listener, hopefully by now, by the time you hear this, Cal's journal will be uploaded to our website, and I advise you to read those because it's a cool little look into Cal's mind throughout the journey from episode 1 to 8, 9. It went all the way to 9, 8, right? 8, 6.
6.
Oh, 9. Okay.
So far.
Whoa, what? I'm sorry.
Naomi.
I was fixing my hair. I thought we weren't talking right now. I'm sorry. I thought we were just we're gonna, go into something else. What happened? What did I miss?
Austin's been doing a journal for Cal.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Naomi!
Sorry.
Where
Is
have
this
you
a thing?
been?
I don't know. Kirk, I don't know if I told you this, and Chris, I don't think that I told you this, but the way that I've been doing Cal's journals is for every short or long rest.
So, okay.
I'm assuming that would be the time that Kel has the time to actually write down in his journal real fast.
Makes sense.
And then close it up and head out.
It's just fun to see things from his perspective.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good supplemental to like a podcast. Like people can have something else to like.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that you were doing that. Maybe I missed the memo or forgot, which is on par with me in character and out of character. So, holy crap, Austin, no way. Dedication, bro. What?
All right, so let me jump back in. Kaylee, I think you were next. You were number 3.
I was. So I think it's just so poetic that I'm the last one to share since I was the last one added. It works out perfectly. I really do. Totally not on purpose, just how it worked out. So as the last one added, so like I come in and, you know, obviously I'm married to Kirk, and so I've got to I got to kind of have these like inside little talks with him when you guys were prepping and preparing, and he would run the ideas by me and all this stuff. And then he started doing it, and, you know, you guys started recording and everything, and I would just be a fan. I was just listening. And so I got through like the first 2 or 3 episodes before it was even considered that I would join. And all of a sudden Kirk's like, you know, just teams of 3 are just hard. Like, I think that we need a 4th person. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Who are you going to ask? And he starts proposing that I do it. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. No, I'm not doing it.
Yep,
yeah.
He just like opens up his laptop. Yeah, it was
with a D20.
Yeah, it was the box of dice, and he's like, "Look, they're pink. You should do it." And I said, "No."
I was like, I
was like really resistant because this is so not my thing. Like, I tried to play one time before. I think I got through 1, maybe 2 little run-throughs. I've never finished a campaign. It's just never been my thing. So he kept telling him no, and you know what? I am so glad that he finally wore me down, and I said yes, that I would do it, because it has been a blast. I look forward to it every other week. I shouldn't say every week, but like every other week. Straight up, I have been dreaming in Maura's voice. Nobody's business.
Yeah.
I will find myself having these internal thoughts in an Irish accent. So it has totally consumed part of my life. It's ridiculous. But it's just been so much fun. So like what I did is I listened as a fan and then stopped listening so I wouldn't get too much background on everything and what was going on. So that when I dropped in, it was real. Like I dropped in, that was really me, really confused. I didn't know everything that was going on. I tried to purposely forget anything that Kirk had run by me as like the DM when I wasn't part of it, but I don't get any special treatment. Kirk treats me like the rest of you guys. So, you know, like shit, basically.
Except, please. I will say, it seems like you are allowed to talk more shit to the DM. Like, I'm afraid to talk too much shit to the DM. I'm like, he's going to punish me. He's going to punish.
Just do it. Nope, just go for it.
Are you encouraging the other players to, like, shit talk the DM?
Yes.
This is the one place in my life where I've, like, just the tiniest bit of power. Okay?
You shouldn't have asked me to join. You knew this was going to happen. You knew.
Speaking of her dreaming in Maura's voice, when I read your journals, Cal. When I read your journals, Cal, I read it, I'm pretty sure, flawlessly in your accent with your voice. Because I was like, in my head, I was like, yep, I hear his voice, reading through it.
But accents in your head and then coming out of your mouth is a whole new thing.
Yeah, I'm flawless in my head.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I can sing. I'm amazing. And then I say it and I'm like, that's not what it's supposed to sound like, though.
You know, that's why I did not even attempt an accent, because it's not something I'm like super comfortable with. And man, when you came in that first episode, I was all like, holy damn, this girl is like the savior. I did, because like I was already being self-conscious about my performance. I was like being self-conscious about like the growth that I have to take. And I was like, man, I feel like you do have to bring it when there's only 3. I feel like you do have to bring it to another level. And the personality of Sandra it's not pleasing, you know, because she's just not pleasing. But then when we, you know, the rest of the world and me heard you, I was all like, Yeah, I don't know if you guys watch the YouTube. The minute she starts talking, my face like lights up, and I could not stop staring at the screen. I'm just
Lord.
dead face looking at it with a big
background. Background of the voice. There's no one in my family that's Irish. I've done what are those things? The 23andMe DNA things. Nobody I know is like Irish, Scottish, anything. Straight up, it was you.
12%.
I'm not related to you. We're married. How would I have had that?
That's a relation.
Oh, you just gave it to me? You just put the Irish voice in me?
You don't. No.
That's why he's been depositing, Kaylee.
Yeah, the Irish
God.
voice came from you. No, I don't think that you've just been putting that in there. Stop.
Remember, folks, this is a
Okay.
NSFW
honestly-
podcast.
This is not
Seriously.
safe for work.
You guys,
Adult themes are
see why
discussed.
he needs to get shit on more in the game? Because he's sitting here taking credit for my accent that I came up with. He's trying to take credit for it. Fuck that shit. No, it was mine. This is me. Thank you very much. So, straight up, it was the first accent I tried, though. Not even kidding. It was like,
Really?
oh, I'm just going to try this. And there it was. And I sent a recording over to Kirk, and he played it for one of his friends. And they're like, yeah, that's perfect. Do that. So
Was it me?
I didn't try anything else.
Probably,
no, it
yeah,
wasn't
everyone
you.
in
He
the
has
office.
other work friends, Chris.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. It wasn't
No, he
you.
doesn't.
He has other friends. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
he
it
doesn't.
probably-
I'm there. I know.
It probably was you. There was another guy that he played it for, so I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of me dropping in and not having I have no experience. I don't do acting or anything like my job, I guess. I get up there and act every day, but nothing. I don't have any of that kind of stuff going on. So it was just crazy for me to drop in, do this stuff. And so when you guys are talking about how it's so reliant on us as characters, that just is completely that's just me. I don't know how to play. So when I'm sitting here wait, what does that really mean? What is intuition? What do I press? I'm not kidding. I really don't know what to roll. I don't know what the dice look like. I really suck at D&D. So the character part of it's really important. So I had a lot of fun developing my character, kind of working alongside Kirk and figuring this shit out. And just I'm having so much freaking fun with you guys. It's been amazing. The story is incredible. Unfortunately, I don't get any more inside information on where the story's going to go, though. Kirk refuses to tell me, and he locks his computer, so I can't see anything.
Dang.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
She's like, why can't I unlock your computer? What's
wanna
in there?
see
D&D notes? He's like, no, there's other women. She's like, no, there's not.
There's other
There's D&D notes.
Yeah, that's what he's telling me. Instead of it being oh, what are you looking at on your computer? And it's it's not porn. No, Kirk's it's not the notes. I promise.
It's porn. It's porn.
It's porn. It's actually porn. He's
I'm normal.
defending it, and I'm like, oh, okay, porn, that's fine, but don't work on the D&D notes. So
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
it's amazing, but I, for one, can very much back up how much time this takes. For sure, as an eyewitness, I 100% know how hard Kirk is working on this.
Yeah, she
day
cracks
and
a
night.
whip too, guys. She
No, I really do.
I'll tell her
Nice.
no,
Yeah, I really
Saturday
do.
I'm okay, I need to do at least 4 hours of work. If I get up out of that chair and do something other than go to the bathroom or eat, tell me to go sit back down.
And I do.
She will.
This is
sure.
absolutely a love child right now.
That's
For sure. It's such a time consuming thing,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we all love doing it. I mean,
Yes.
I
speaking
do.
for myself, I love doing it. It seems like everyone keeps coming back, so
We're still here.
I would say out of the 2-week period, because we film every 2 other weeks
Mhm.
between writing, editing, and recording. God, how many hours do you spend writing between those 2 periods, Kirk?
almost every night, and if he's not writing, then he's doing something social media related.
Just like a rough. I forgot.
An hour to 2 hours a day.
A night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh
that's
my gosh.
And that's
then
after a
I
full-time
spend
job.
half a day on the weekends, so either half a day Saturday or half a day Sunday.
So between out of 2 weeks, that's close to 20 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The editing takes anywhere, sometimes close to about 10 hours. And then all the social media shit in there, and then recording is another 3 to 4 hours. I mean, you're talking about 2 weeks. That's 35.
It's another
plus
full-time
hours.
job.
So it's a lot.
another full-time job on top of the full-time jobs we have. Yeah.
Oh,
But,
But it's fun.
I'm probably getting on my
been-
dad's nerves because I'm like, I need you to play guitar again.
You're like,
for me."
sorry, let's do it. Yeah.
No,
so
he likes
I
doing
mean,
it.
it
Which,
kind of worked
Chris,
out.
You can credit him really quick. Let people know
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
If you
So
want.
some of the music. So I try to write a lot of the music. I have to use samples. 'Cause I'm not super musically talented. I could play piano and drums a little bit, but some of the stuff I have my dad record. He plays guitar. Christopher Walker. He's got the same name as me, but he doesn't. I don't think he has a site or anything yet. He said he was going to start a SoundCloud, so I'll probably put the link somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe
if
on
he gets
the
one
webpage
up,
or
we can
something.
share it for sure.
Yeah, so he's part behind the musical talent that goes
Yeah.
into the episode.
I know his music was focused on Lead City, right? Like the first time you guys entered Lead City, and then the second time when you guys were having like the little party. Okay.
And I do love
mistaken?
I love Daddy Chris too. Like, not only is he like so down to help help
he's
his
super
son.
supportive.
He's so supportive, and because me and Christopher have been friends for so long, I mean, like, there was days where I went to Daddy Chris and like cried over stuff in my life, and he always whipped out a guitar and like sang me some of his favorite songs back in the day, and it just makes me feel so good to see him a part of something that brings, you know, Chris so much joy and the rest of us so much joy. Because, yeah, Daddy Chris was a great, maybe I should stop calling him Daddy Chris, too. I don't know. Sorry, Dad.
So, let's see. I have two more questions I want to ask you guys.
Oh, so I guess I'm done. Guys, thank you so much for listening to my portion. Kirk has now officially cut me off. He says I'm
Sorry,
done.
we got so sidetracked. I forgot. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I was saving the end of it for the compliments for you, so we can just move on.
Okay, perfect. I don't like them anyways. You can tell me later.
Stop!
She can whisper them into your ears at night.
I'll just tell him when he's asleep.
She just dresses as Maura Hill, and she's all like, "Are you ready for a magical night?"
Yeah, I don't think Kirk would mind. To be honest with you, just an insight to me, besides the accent and the height thing, because I'm pretty tall, there's not that much that's very different. I very much mirrored her after myself. When I'm not in front of my class or around like certain people, 100% that's me. I just speak my mind and say what's going on, right, babe?
Right. Yes.
Thank you.
For those
Most
who are watching,
definitely so.
He looked real nervous.
He was not sure how to answer that one. No, I think we're doing a really good job, like as a team. You and me, you know, you and I, Kirk, and then just like the rest of us too. I just think that it's like this perfect. We're all in a marriage together, guys. Just think of it that way.
Hot.
We're all in a D&D marriage. It's great.
Polyamory. It's great.
But it's awesome. And I felt so welcomed in coming in as like this latecomer, and it's been amazing.
It's so great every time I have to get romantic with Kirk with every AI he plays that I'm just like hitting on and we're like being all sexual to each other. Then I gotta go to work and we're like,
if y'all want to like fantasy fuck me, that is fine.
Hey,
I will allow it.
Kirk and I gotta get all fucking nasty, and then we show up to work the next day and we're like, so you're going to South today? I'm like, I'm gonna be at South, so I'm just gonna get out of here.
Just, no eye contact. You guys just both look at the floor. How are you? I'm good. Look at the ceiling. I'm fine. How are you? Yeah, you can flirt with them all you want, because I already have to do that in real life, so I'm not doing that in a virtual game. So we're drawing the line.
Pass. No offense, Kirk. I think you're great, but you know, I don't think you can handle Sandra. You know, she's kind of
she wants to be a lone wolf. That's fine. Okay, moving on from fantasy romance. Next question is okay.
Here we go.
I want to ask you guys, is there anything you wanted to accomplish in this arc but couldn't? Like something that I might have set up and didn't follow through with? Maybe something you thought like, oh, we could totally do this, and then I maybe sidetracked you or didn't allow something, because I want the world to feel as open as possible. You know, I want you guys to be able to do what your characters would want to do.
To be honest, I don't think too much about what I feel like you should do. I feel a lot about how I can make myself better in the world that you created. The only thing that I hope in the future arcs is that I can stay committed to how Sandra really reacts, because it is definitely a different game when you're just chilling with your buds playing D&D, and like the role play doesn't have to be so, it's not serious, but it doesn't have to be so present. But in this, what we're doing, Sandra needs to bring it. I need to bring it. I need to be her. I need to act like her. And it's not like you don't do that in other D&D campaigns. It's just that, you know, there's a little bit more expectation because people are listening. And I don't really think that you really hindered Sandra, at least at all. You know, you gave me plenty opportunity to be myself, and most of the time I'm just trying to keep up with these crazy accents y'all got and try to like take 20% off of Sandra's bitchiness. I mean, she has a charisma of trash. You know, that's the official number. Her charisma is so trash. And her wisdom's like even worse. So she's just this big brute who, you know, and that's also like, that's how I feel about Sandra and myself, because I did mirror her after a little piece of myself. And when I go to the boxing gym, sometimes I feel like I'm Sandra, like when I'm doing crazy like smashes, and
that's when it's the best, when it's a little bit of you in the character.
Yeah,
that's when it really is. It's good.
Yeah, and like just especially
you unhinged a little bit.
Yeah, and especially like in my like personal life, you know, like for those listening, I have a really terrible time with dating. Like I just, my IQ drops when I like a guy. I'm just all like, oh, these are not red flags. What are you talking about? And so the fact that I get to play somebody who's closed off, as Sandra is, she doesn't tell a lot of people her backstory, and she's pretty mean to them. I've had to adopt a little bit of her personality a little bit in my life. And like I said, I don't think Kirk has ever, given me not giving me something. I feel like, okay, well, here's my challenge to be Sandra in this world. And I just hope in the future that I, especially as the arcs continue, and, you know, whenever my arc comes, as far as where we get to learn maybe a little bit more about Sandra, that's where I want to bring it more than I have in the past, especially after doing 10 episodes. It's got to happen, you know? So good job, Kirk. Stop. Don't just sit here and make us try to say things that we wish you did.
That's not the
I was
point.
like, I'll do mine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of going off of the character thing, like I love that not all of our stories are out there just yet, especially mine. Like we know the least about Mora altogether. But like one thing I am so fucking stoked for is to find out more about this Cal quest thing. Like I tried so hard last time to get a little bit more, and I know it wasn't the platform, but I'm like, you left us with this huge fucking cliffhanger, Austin, of, well, really, I'm Quest, and I got this shady fucking past right now. So I cannot wait, and I hope that we get to kind of incorporate that more and see what's really going on behind the scenes of you having to change your name and stuff, because that was just like the coolest bomb dropping ever. I love that Kirk like let it play out, that he let me ask you about it and that you answered. So I'm so stoked for that.
Yeah, Sandra was pissed. She don't like fucking surprises, man. Like, I was pissed. Like, my character was pissed. I was like, you motherfucker, I worked so hard at the academy, me personally, and then you just skated on by. How rude.
Yeah, I loved that. So that's one thing I am super looking forward to is finding more out about that, Austin.
Yeah, I think Cal's definitely an interesting character. And I did do a lot of work on his backstory, and so hopefully, it does get to get drawn out a little bit more. I don't feel like the time is right now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's your prerogative.
And so yeah, whatever, whenever it comes. And I think, and Kirk, to answer your question, I don't think that there's anything that Cal or Quest wanted to do necessarily, in this first arc. Cal is very concerned about surviving. And when these journals come out, and as you guys decipher them and everything, you guys will get to know a little bit more about what he wants, what's truly in his heart. So I don't think there's necessarily anything. I know that the one thing that I wanted to do and that I totally forgot about was the mousetrap. Like I got this mousetrap and then I haven't even used it yet. I think.
What about the phone too? Have you sent any messages on your phone either?
When we went into the void, when we were getting sucked into the void, Cal sent out a message.
Yes.
And he sent it out. He could only send it one message
one way.
to one person, one way. And he did, and we don't know yet if that message was received. I kind of wanted, I guess, that is one thing. Cal did kind of want to know if that message did it get there, in this arc.
Yeah.
But the story didn't call for that yet. The story's not quite there, and I'm totally okay with that, and I'm hopefully the listeners are too. So, but yeah, I don't think there's necessarily anything that Cal wanted to do in this arc. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't think Del had any plans other than trying to find his planet and his family and bring the planet back. But I don't feel at any point that I was like contained. I don't think I was.
I try not to hinder anybody.
Yeah, I don't think I was hindered at all. The only time I was worried you were gonna hinder me is with the hat. I don't want to give anything away in case people haven't listened to episode 8. But I remember you told me. The way that you described what I could do with the hat, you kind of made it seem like it wasn't meant to be a combat thing, right? But I asked very specific questions to see if I could, and so that's why I made the plan. I was like, he might be like, oh no, you can't do that, but you let it. You let it go through.
Very concerned with the distance. I remember the distance was you asked probably 3 times.
Yeah,
like, wait,
I thought I selected that on purpose so that it was like far enough away from all your guys' shit, so that it'd be like at least like a round or two for you guys to get beat up a bit more.
That was so funny. Yeah, I guess that's one thing that we totally missed out on, and I guess not giving anything away. I don't know if we're allowed to really give stuff away.
I mean, I guess this is supposed to be.
This comes out after, so
it comes out after.
You're free to talk about anything from the arc.
So looking forward to kind of getting into this big, huge battle. Like I waited to join this arc, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the chance. We have this atomic unit. Like it's so fucking creepy, and then all of we have these swarms of things coming down from the mountains, and then here goes Chris that's like, oh guys, by the way, it's over, we're done. Like it's just so I guess if there's one thing that if we redid it or something, I'd be like, destroy the hat.
Oh yeah, so we can actually show off what we could do.
So we could show off a little, but you know what?
We'll see. Here's the thing.
It worked out so well, and there's gonna be so many more battles. It'll be okay. It was
now
so
Kirk
epic.
knows I have the hat. He's gonna fucking plan for that now.
He'll make sure.
I came up with that while I was at work one day. I was working. I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do, and I told Kirk, I was like, I'm gonna do something, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I know that you're gonna try to stop me. And so he didn't know what I was gonna do.
You got to work around the DM manipulating us.
I was just waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, I want all of you guys to try to fool me because that's all I do is I try to think about all the things that you guys might do, and I try to write in a way that I don't want you guys to breeze through a campaign. I want there some difficulty to be.
Well, why the fuck not? Just kidding.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't want to do any hard work. Just kidding.
Well, this next arc is going to be fun.
With the atomic unit and all the other robots, I had a lot of fun trying to think of a new way to change the voice to be like, how can this robot sound different than the last one? And I hope that everyone enjoyed that because
it was fun.
Kirk sounded funny sometimes.
Yeah, he did. It was awesome. When you were one of the little characters in our last episode, it was really funny.
He had a really high-pitched voice like this.
Really high. Wow, that was spot on. Oh my gosh.
It was great. I've no regrets from any of this. I have no regrets. I like what happened. I like how much and how little information we still know about each other because I think it just fits exactly with our timeline.
Yeah,
we don't know each other, so of course, the listeners don't need to know everything about us. There needs to be Easter eggs that are thrown in later and stuff that as Chris likes to say, is canon for later. So
There is actually
That's
a lot
part of
more.
that's canon, Kaylee. I was like, okay, thanks, Chris.
There's a lot more Easter eggs than people realize, but they
There is.
won't know until later.
That's true.
Right now, those of us, I think us
I'm
three,
confused.
Kirk, Austin, and me know one that was mentioned.
Oh god. And this is something a bit like I don't know. I'm not going to use this phrase correctly. I don't think like meta or whatever. This involves more of like the actual gameplay of the campaign.
Cool.
Are there any mechanics that you guys wanted to add or remove? Like
I need to be better at picking my spells because all my stuff was fire and that was totally an accident. So going forward, I will be changing up my spells to include something else.
You can prepare some new spells. But like in terms of like core gameplay, what do you guys
right here,
Austin?
That's part of gameplay. God.
I don't want to die again. Fuck that. Okay.
You didn't die. You just you
were
took
prone.
a little nap on the battle
prone.
floor. Okay, fair.
You're
Fair.
welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
I'm jokes. Those jokes.
Well, actually, since we're on that, let me just really quick. How comfortable are you guys with your characters possibly dying? Like,
okay.
I mean, I feel like
As
a lot
in,
of
we'd have to come back as somebody else. Like we'd be gone forever.
possibly.
No.
I feel like so I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody, but I feel like a lot of other podcasts, it's like seems like there's really nothing to lose because they can't die. They usually just like go unconscious or something. And I feel like if you really want it to be like tense on every fight, then you would set it to where people could die.
Then I will do what we said earlier, and I will just run the other direction.
Well,
Just kidding.
I mean, it's really common in other D&D campaigns for somebody to eventually die, especially if you play your cards wrong, or roll your dice wrong in this case. So, I mean, I wouldn't really be opposed, I mean, it just kind of depends on the story, and maybe I'll come back with a badass accent that you guys are like fronting. I'm just like, oh man. No, I'm secretly under my covers, like practicing different accents because the whole goal is to have Sandra killed off
It's
so I can.
100% how it happens. I was just sitting in the living room and just talking away in whatever way that I could.
No, I don't. If I were to die, I wouldn't want to die yet. I really want people to understand.
Well, I'm not
like,
going to
She's giving
try
me the
to kill anybody.
timeline.
That's the
I
thing.
see.
No, I don't want to kill
in
anybody.
exactly 3 episodes, I'm okay if I die. But any more than 10, I'm not okay
Those
with
are my
that.
conditions, I know that I do so much for the podcast. I mean, I just spend so many hours on it. So if you guys can give me a little give, that would be amazing. But piggybacking off what Kaylee said, and Austin, as far as gameplay, I just realized how building your character in the beginning is so important. Because this is so for me, the other characters that I have played in the past are kind of vanilla compared to Sandra. She's a half-orc paladin, and I also have like a bad mod for charisma, and that's like all paladin modifiers and spells, and so it's interesting to try to figure out how I can still be all of this, because I'm not changing nothing. I gave myself a challenge. That was that was the way that I built my character, and I was just kind of trying to think of a tank, but that can also heal, because we don't really have heals on this team. And yeah, it's difficult. And it's not only difficult as far as gameplay, it's difficult as like what her story is, because you kind of get your backstory, but then as you level up, you're like, okay, well, how come she's like this, and how come I'm having such difficulty trying to figure out like where she comes from and why she's a paladin being a half-orc. I should have been like a fighter or something, but then Cal would have been dead. So, it's a give and take. But as far as gameplay, I'm not changing anything. I like the challenge. It makes for a really interesting character, in my opinion. I was talking to one of my friends and I was telling him, dude, I think I fucked up in the beginning. And he's like, oh, what are you? Because I talked to a bunch of my friends who play D&D, and as soon as I tell them what they am, they make this oh kind of face. And somebody gave me, I wish I can remember who it was who told me, but they said, hey, that makes for an interesting character. And that kind of gave me my confidence back, especially like after the last time we leveled up. I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I'm going to play it. And so, listeners, you play D&D. Think hard about your character, a little harder than I did, but that's why it's called We Suck at D&D, because
Yes.
I sucked major meatballs in the beginning. So yeah, that's my bit. That's my bit. Somebody else talk, please.
Kaylee, it looks like you are raising your hand. What's up?
Yeah.
You got a question?
So we were talking about gameplay, and you were asking if there's anything that we wanted to change. But I wanted to ask from your perspective, like how we're doing as a team, how we're progressing through your story, if we're doing it the way that don't roll your eyes, if we really are making the decisions that you wanted us to make, if there was a moment at any time that we didn't make a decision that you wanted us to.
The first arc, like I said, was very railroaded, right? So you guys were going a direction the entire time. So things you guys did, well, the hat thing definitely threw me off. I had like this whole fight planned on like with all kinds of cool shit, and I was like, well, that's a cool moment. Like I will always take a cool moment over like what I planned, because that's you guys creating the story, and I love that.
That's
like
fair.
I'd rather you guys make it, and then I just keep you guys, moving forward, than me just like planning each event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But I have those things planned for like instance if that didn't happen, then I have backup essentially.
Sure.
Let's see. Anything else? The message thing was fun. Oh, Austin. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, I just wanted to comment on the death of our characters and how we feel about that.
Oh, yeah. Go.
So I'm totally okay with Cal or Quest dying. I just, at some point in a campaign or a adventure, I'd like to get down, conclude his story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with killing off our characters, especially like, for story purposes, but I would like to close it,
I am a very much a happy ending guy. I will not try to kill anybody, but if you guys fail 3 death, saves or whatever, there's not much I can really do.
I mean, look, if there's one thing I learned from like Game of Thrones, Last of Us 2, is you can kill off whoever you want and it'll still be a good story as long as the writing's good. Anybody. It doesn't matter who it is.
Anybody.
The DM could die, and then the rest of that podcast is us just like this.
We just released a bunch of silent episodes.
So what you think, Dale? What should we be doing?
I don't know. I think God died.
Was everything just black now?
That's great. That's great.
Like on the mechanic thing, the game mechanic, there's nothing on the core mechanics that I have a problem with, but what I do want to know is when are we going to see some of that wild shit? Like,
so I've been reading some about it. It's not super complicated, but I think there's like 2 instances where it takes effect.
Mm-hmm.
When she casts a spell higher than a cantrip, I can request that she roll a d20, and if it's a 1, then an effect takes place. And then I think if she uses like her wild magic surge or something, I have to look it up again.
Mm-hmm.
That's another instance where I can make her roll.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to happen very often because some of the effects are crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to see that.
I know. I want it to happen. And now that you guys are leveled up and Mora is leveled up, she has more spells. That she can use more spell slots.
Yeah.
So I think I want you guys to burn them because I do give you guys enough long rest to kind of recuperate some of your stuff. So like blow shit up, use some cool ass spells. Like I want you guys to play around with that more, especially like you spellcasters.
Yeah. I really, because I came into it with an already established team, I tried to make sure that when I was building my character that I did build it in a way that it added to the story. Like I didn't want to be a repeat kind of a character. And so when I did pick sorcery, I picked it for the wild magic, and I wanted it to be really interesting, but I know that it does complicate things a little bit. It was even hard trying to find a lot of information about it, but that's what makes it really fun. That I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it just worked out that that's how I got to you guys in the first place. But there's a whole lot more to me and my character, my backstory.
Yeah,
so
and you really want an
super
area
stoked.
of effect person on your team anyway, you know, like to have something that does like area damage. I think that's so important. I do like how we all are, you know, we have a long range, we have Cal. I don't know, just scritchy scratches and shit. And then
sneaky boy.
Then we have a tank / healer person. Poor Sandra. She's so confused in her life. And then to have an AoE character, I think that was really smart, Kaylee, for sure. It pleased me. Please.
I'm glad.
So I think the next thing we should talk about, I know we have a couple listener questions.
Okay.
Chris, I know you had a couple that some people had sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to fire them off?
I had one that I can think
Okay.
of. So I was asked what Dell's middle name is. Apparently I mumble. And just like, so when I was
That's
asked that,
awesome.
I actually gave an answer. I said Hewlett. But to be honest, after I thought about it for a little bit, he doesn't have a middle name. He has a first name, Dell, and I'll tell you where it comes from after I explain the whole name. And then his last name is a hyphenated name between his two parents. So Dell Hewlett Packard is his name. And it's a joke because he's a cyborg and Dell is a computer brand and Hewlett Packard HP is a computer brand. So his name is
some of the worst computer brands. I mean, no, just kidding. If any of those people ever wanted to sponsor our shitty podcast,
I'll cut that out.
Wink,
great
wink.
products.
Wink,
But
wink.
yeah. So that's what it is. I told the person that it was Hewlett, but that's actually just a hyphenated last name. So Dell Hewlett Packard. There, I'm not mumbling now.
It's okay. I feel you on the whole name thing when I get dropped in. How long do we talk about Mara?
Oh my god.
Mora.
So, question actually about that.
Yeah,
Your name is Mora Hill,
it is.
and Cal's name is Quest of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same area?
No.
No,
We're from
okay.
completely different planet.
Different
Oh, okay.
planets, yeah.
And never mind. I was gonna say something about different years, even.
Okay,
Different. What was that?
years.
Years.
Years. Oh. Yeah, I guess time does definitely play a factor in our campaign.
time's gonna go all over the place in this
Yep.
game. So.
You know what's
Yeah.
I
I don't
dropped in, guys. You don't know what year I'm from.
Kirk, in the beginning of this, when we started, he told us, he's like, I don't want to focus too much on time because then it becomes a big thing. Now we've been
now it's a
time
big
traveling.
thing.
He made us
So-
time travel, and I'm like,
I will tell. Yeah, I'll tell you guys this. My initial timeline, I'll say, or game plan for the whole campaign has probably changed 2 or 3 times already from what I originally envisioned. So we're going full.
Yeah, no, that's
fucking
good. That's good
time.
though, because you want adaptability is so important for a DM, and I mean you're nailing it for it because I haven't had really terrible DMs. I've had green DMs, but I've never run into a DM that wasn't adaptable. But I've heard of other campaigns where just man, my DM just doesn't let me have fun, and and so I'm just like, not my DM, suckers.
Yeah, I want this to be fun.
Yeah. No, I guess
think I had-
going
Go ahead.
back with the name thing and stuff, Mora Hill, literally, I got the name actually because I watch British reality TV a lot.
Oh.
And there was an Irish girl on there and her name was Mora, and totally modeled my accent after her. So I just am honoring that by using her first name. And then just Hill is straight up based on my time and where I come from on a Narvis. And that's how you say it because I know that it's weird in my accent. A Narvis.
Girl, are you talking about Doctor Who? Are you talking
No.
about Doctor Who? I was gonna
reality. No, reality TV.
Oh, well, hey, Doctor Who
Yeah.
is my reality. How dare you?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
there we go. There we go. No, I love Doctor Who. Trust me, all things British television in general, like, love me some BBC and ITV too. But
Hey, watch what- yeah.
oh shit! Oh no, I remember what that means now. Oh,
Yeah.
good God.
Yeah, watch what you say. The
British
Broadcasting
Broadcasting Channel. Dude, I walked right into that one. That's how naive I am.
because
Didn't
you
even
certainly
know.
ain't getting that from me, babe.
I was like,
Sorry.
why are you guys laughing? I don't get it. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm
So
gonna
I
do
love-
that thing with you know how people take clips of different things and they like make like a
Oh,
techno
boy.
song, like I love.
Yeah. That would sell. Especially, yeah.
It would.
No.
It would sell.
Oh, dear God. So, yeah, I love British television. Anyways, the Hill just comes from literally we make our last names off where we live. So, if you're going to do another Game of Thrones reference, you know, sand and snow, you're based on where you're from.
Aww,
Hill.
yay.
I live in the hills, so I am from Hill.
That's basically the same thing with tabaxi races. So they create their name and then like basically of where they're from, and that's
Nice.
That's where he came from. You'll find out more about Cal's family if you read his journals and decipher them.
I love how
There you
you
go.
guys like really invested into figuring out the name because I don't know, I wanted something punny because in all of my other D&D campaigns, like I always made a pun and I was like, oh, I might as well just like keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to introduce more of my life because there's more, more than Sandra Bullock. And yeah, that was the only question that I got from any of my friends. Like, why would you pick that name? And I was like, why wouldn't you pick that name? It's freaking genius. Do you know how many
So funny.
actresses and actors I've looked up to see where I can put the word orc in it? And there's not a lot, so.
That's funny.
So
There you go.
I just remembered that in that whole arc, I never said Darnell's last name. Like, I never made that.
You didn't.
I did?
yeah.
You didn't.
No, yeah, I just remembered. I was like, I don't think I did.
You
but
said Boone's last name. You said Boone had a last name when we first met him, but that was obviously changed. His name was changed to Darnell. But yeah, you didn't.
No,
Yeah,
but
so
I thought we
just,
talked
like-
about it because isn't it like
No.
Adelaide Packard?
we talked about that, but I'm going to retcon in this episode and just say that at some point he mentioned that his last name was
Hewlett.
Yeah, Darnell
Mhm.
Hewlett.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it could be that he came up with it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um,
When he wanted to really, I don't know, go off and he started to make his little colony, he decided to have two names instead of just one to rebrand himself or, who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seem more
rebranding.
Human, maybe.
Rebranding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I had a question from a listener. They asked, it's for you, Sandra, and they asked if you have any other way to attack other than a maul.
Oh, we shall see. I do. I mean, all I have is an unarmed strike. So it's literally a maul or my fist.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
I mean,
I know you get some cool shit like, as you level up.
yeah, and also, if you had the damage I had with my maul, you wouldn't fight with anything other than a maul. I have, it's like +5 to hit, and then 2d6 +3. So, I mean, I have a maximum of 15 damage per smash. So, versus punching and doing 4 damage. So,
And I think that's your upgraded one now, right? The Sonic Maul.
no, it was always 2d6 +3. The Sonic Maul
Okay,
has other things to it.
Okay, then yeah, I need to make sure I change it a little bit because it'll do a little bit more base damage.
No, it says when activated, I can add 1d6 to damage.
That's right.
yeah.
Right. It has charges.
And if jet portion of maul is faced toward the enemy, can cause 2d4 fire damage instead. So you did boost it. So for that listener, I can, spice it up by saying my Sonic Mall, if that will, if that'll get you
Well, I think you're
running.
I think Paladins get smite and like stuff like that later too, which is a super cool thing.
Yeah, and the only other thing that I've used was I think a Lay on Hands Pool, and I really haven't had the need to use Divine Sense because good and evil didn't really. I don't know. Maybe I could have, but I just didn't really feel like what is evil around here in the last arc.
Yeah.
Everything is either robot or not. So we'll see. I am hoping that I will bring more entertaining attacks, and
there's gonna be some opportunities for sure.
yeah, and maybe I can go shopping. I like shopping. I have credits, so.
Yeah, I do want to make a better source system. Like I was telling you guys, that's my least favorite thing, and I will try. I like writing the story. I hate like looking through items and shit to build a story. Chris, what's up?
Does it? So speaking of like different ways to attack, does it annoy you when I think of some dumb, crazy way to attack somebody, like grabbing them with my jetpack and flying them out?
No, that is super cool. Okay. I totally encourage creative use of your skills and abilities. Like I will always reward that because it's outside of the box, and I like that stuff. And that's something I need to do too.
Come up with stats for the jetpack.
I can award you guys inspiration points.
Oh,
and that's something
I like that.
Yeah,
do that.
So I think I don't remember exactly, but I think at one point of inspiration you can use it to automatically turn any roll into a 20, right? I think that's what it does.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
No, I thought it gave you
We can look it up.
advantage.
Or maybe it gives you advantage.
It's about to get real creative up in here, guys.
And that's good. Yeah, I
We're
want to
gonna
reward
take
that.
15 minutes to describe how we're doing our one move so that we can get some points.
Dell takes off his duster and builds a scarecrow to attract attention over to one side.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, I looked it up. Allows a character to gain advantage on one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Nice.
So you can roll twice. That's definitely a plus.
There's been times when
that was the inspiration point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anyone have any other questions from friends, family, listeners, and like that before I kind of talk a little bit about the next arc?
I didn't get anything.
Someone mentioned
we're still new. It's okay. We're still babies.
Someone mentioned to me that.
You guys
Rock,
keep
paper, scissors?
Sorry.
I'll wait.
No, Kaylee, you first. I feel like mine's a little insignificant. Go ahead.
It's fine. I was just going to say someone was really surprised how big of a potty mouth I have as Mora. So they're not used to it in real
Mora
life.
does have a potty mouth.
Yeah, in real life, I really don't cuss that much, guys. I promise. I really do hold it back. I just let it all go when it comes to the podcast.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Because you say shit a lot in Nora's accent. With an Irish accent, should it be shite?
I started that in the first episode that I dropped in on. And when I listened back to it, I actually hated how I said it. So, I can always go back and,
it's up to you. I wasn't
shite.
It's your character.
I can't remember where shite
when
Ireland doesn't exist.
I did.
World.
I said,
True.
so if you listen to my first one and I said shite, I just hated it. I hated how it sounded and it didn't come off quite the same. So I switched it very soon after that back to just regular shit.
Hey, it's all your
But
character.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I was just wondering.
And I've got a few other little phrases I've thrown in there since and stuff that I'd like to incorporate. But yeah, I am a dwarf from a Narvis, so I don't know this Irish that you're speaking of.
True.
I'm just speaking my regular dwarf on the hill language.
That's
this
true.
Is how, this is our accent.
That's the same with my fucked up Western accent. It's a Lone Star accent, okay?
Yep. Naomi. Yeah.
I did. So the only other question that I felt like I had any passion in like explaining was somebody asked me why I even liked D&D in the first place. And my answer was to them, it's like pure imagination. and it's where, number one, we have a wonderful community. I know Kirk and Kaylee are new friends, but Austin and especially Chris, we've been friends for a while. And especially during the pandemic, in this particular case, it's nice to still be able to be a part of, the people that I miss in my community. And as far as Dungeons and Dragons goes, you have so much freedom to just create something, and you can pretend to be somebody else for a while. And the gameplay, Dungeons and Dragons is just so massive. There's so much information, so many resources, so many different stories that you can play, and it's still, you can come up with new stuff. To have a game where you can have as much freedom and liberty that we have as far as narration, characters, gameplay, that's something incredibly special. And, some of my friends think it's really nerdy, and I'm all like, yeah. And like, you're the one who's missing out on being able to, really, really play.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like the chance to just, especially like this campaign, I don't have maps, I don't have figures, I don't have anything like that. I let everything kind of go on in your guys' individual mind. So the world might look different to each of you, and that's totally cool.
Yeah.
I like that you guys can
take
imagine
our drawings of the atomic unit.
Oh
for instance.
yeah, that was awesome. It was kind of like Pictionary, but not safe for work.
Dictionary.
Yeah,
We
dictionary.
all-
that's a
wait,
thing.
that's an actual
That's a
thing.
thing.
A dictionary
Yeah,
is a thing. Pick one up, bruh. Pick one up for
boy.
once.
You made my teacher heart just break in half. Like
I was
straight up
adding dick
shattered.
and Pictionary because that's what mine was, but then it ended up being a real thing. So
That's awesome. It's
So
awesome.
yeah, let me wrap this little episode up by kind of giving you guys a little bit about the next arc. So the next arc, we've talked about it internally, but I can say here now that it's going to be a Sandra focused arc.
Yes! Ooh,
So-
yeah, bitches, you're gonna learn all
Yeah.
about my life. And you guys are you're heartbreaking. That's the only word I have to say. Heartbreaking. I modeled her after my own freaking life. Just kidding. It's not true. But it is heartbreaking. I'm so excited. Yay! It's me.
It's gonna be a fun one. I've been inspired by a couple things I've been playing and watching recently. The arc, the name of this arc. Let me pull up my notes here. Is called The Trial of Water and Fire.
Ooh.
So let that pull your mind wherever you guys want to go. But that could change. The title could change. I usually just make my arc bullet points and then try to come up with the name, and I think it fits. So
That's exciting.
as of now, The
Sounds
Trial
dope.
of Water and Fire.
that sounds awesome.
Ooh, and I'm really glad too, because I feel like Sandra is probably the most not a lot of people know anything about her, and so now that we're gonna have a whole arc to get to know me, pumped, hella pumped, dude. Yes, yes.
And this arc is going to take a lot of figuring out, because I tend to write very railroady. I like to have everything kind of planned for you guys. So this is going to take a lot of legwork on your side, kind of coming up with plans and executing them quickly, so we don't just have a lot of time sitting around.
Cool. Yeah, totally down. This is my time. This is where I get to shine. This is where I get to take the first 3 or 4 episodes where I sucked mega meatballs at being Sandra, and then try to whatever. If you listen to some of the latest episodes, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yes, my time to shine. I'm gonna tell my mom and dad about it. It is time. It is time. Ooh.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a really fun one. So, I had something to say. Just cut this out while I think for a second. Nope, I have nothing. So, anything else before we wrap it up?
No, the only thing I want to do is say thank you to Chris, Austin, You guys were the ones who first invited me to do it, and then a huge thank you to Kaylee for taking some personality pressure off me, dude. Thank you. So I was so happy about it because I was already stressing, and I'm just so thankful. And then a huge thank you to you, Kirk. I know you don't like compliments. I know that we've talked about it a lot, but it is well deserved, the praise that we give you.
No, I appreciate it.
And I am just so stoked to be a part of it. And like I said, if I don't like something and I feel bored, I bail. And
Yeah, just give me a little bit of warning. If you
no,
decide to do
I don't. That does not seem possible. Especially not this arc, bitch. It's about me. I am invested. So at least
After
you
that,
have.
she's out. But
Yeah, I was like, if you bail, it'll be really awkward to finish the arc.
Yeah, it'll make my job a little harder. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but huge thank you and wonderful work, and not only just for the writing, but I mean, Chris does amazing editing, and you guys do wonderful things on social media. You keep me in line. I have a busy schedule. I wish I had more time, but what is so nice is that you still help me remember to do things for it, and you never seem angry about it. You're just like, oh, Naomi's taking a little bit forever. I'm just going to remind her again. I really appreciate that because I get really shy if I feel like I'm disappointing somebody. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it. There's really no other way to describe my whole feelings about We Suck at D&D. It's just ultimately a wonderful experience that I'm glad that I was a part of in my lifetime. Yeah.
So if we win any awards, Naomi gets to take over the thank you speeches because those are so nice. Everything you have to say is so good. So if we win any awards, she gets to hold the award and go up to the microphone.
Ooh, yeah, I just wish Sandra was as oratal as I am in like real life, because then maybe she wouldn't be such a bitch, you know?
It works.
Yeah,
It works.
cool.
Well, thank you everyone for hopping on. I'm very excited for the next arc.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, stick around. Like I said, it's the Trial of Water and Fire. So yeah, stick around if you want to keep up with us. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that. We're everywhere.
No,
And
go
we
back
have a
and say
website
that.
now.
You need to go back and actually say the names of them, babe.
Okay.
That's how you do stuff, bud.
and email.
Yeah, an email. All right, we'll jump back in. So if you guys do want to reach us, we're pretty much everywhere. And if you go to any of these sites, we have a link tree to go, to all the other sites. But the main three places that we are available: Instagram, we're at We Suck Podcast. On Twitter, we're at We Suck Pod. And on Facebook, We Suck at D&D Podcast. If you want to email us, we're at wesuckpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. Get ready for the next arc. Should be starting in 2 weeks. If something changes, we will tell everyone on social media. So thanks for stopping by.
I would really like to ask everyone go to the link tree because we have a really cool website now.
Yes.
Looks dope. And everything is right there anyway, so go check that out. The link tree.
Yep.
It should be in the show notes, right?
Yeah, I think I'll add it there.
Okay.
But yeah. Bye, everybody.
Yay,
Later.
bye.